All right, guys, now let's think keywords, right? Let's think a few things through, one of which is keywords, another one is geo-targets, and so on. Let me just show you a couple of ways to do this really quick. One is, as a matter of fact, there are a lot of choices. Back in the old 2MOWG days, okay, if you're 2MOWG HB, if you had that ever, then inside any of the system folders was a folder called All City-State Combinations. And if you went in there, one thing it had was like all the cities in all the states, okay? Starting with Abbeville, Alabama. All the states, Alabama's Alabama. And then after Alabama comes Arkansas and Alaska, or what, Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, and it goes all the way down, right? Until you get, 32,816 cities here, ending in Yoder, Wyoming. Okay. Now, if you ever thought, well, where's the first city in California? Oh, well, just maybe do a search for that, right? California. And Adelanto, California. Yep, there it is. And so that just helps me. If I was trying to get all the cities in the state of California, that's helpful, right? Okay. Now, having said that, because you could copy those cities and use them however you want, but then that's not very helpful if, like, you're trying to be for a plumber, a landscaper, anybody working in a local area. Do you know if that city is close to that one and close to that one and close to that one? No, I don't know. Chances are they're not. Okay. So how do you find cities near something? By the way, we have more. There's the top 100 cities in the US by population. So these are the top 100 most populous cities in the US. So if you are geo-targeting anything, but you're doing it nationwide, you might do your first runs based on those most popular 100 cities, most populous 100 cities. Okay. So whenever you download that 2MOWG HB, by now the only reason to get it would be to get this. World cities and countries. Okay, this is all over the world. Some of you guys maybe see reasons to use these. I don't know what many of them would be. I'll leave that to you. All right, what are other ways though that we can get what we're looking for? Watch this. I'll show you a quick trick if you've never seen it. Plumber tells me he's working in Atlanta, Georgia. I'll just show you a couple of times and you'll get this. All right, fine. Atlanta, Georgia, right? Well, watch this. Here's what I'm going to put. I'm going to put list of cities near Atlanta, like Atlanta, Georgia, right? And I'm going to look for something called travel math because I just like it. Wow. Here's what travel math does. It's showing me a bunch of cities and it's telling me the center of each city listed is within 12 miles of Atlanta, Georgia. That's close enough. That's close enough to be in the guy's geographic reach. So I'm just straight going to copy that block, right click, copy, paste, and the only thing I have to do is clean it up. See, there's a space up here. There shouldn't be. This thing's way over here, so I'm going to like cut it, okay, cut it, and paste it at the bottom. And then this thing, I'm going to cut it too, and enter, and so I can paste it. Now get rid of those spaces. They're tabs really, right? It's really just one big fat character going all the way across. All right. Now, just to make sure I don't have any stray spaces, I'll do this. That way I can see that there are no stray spaces, right? And I can see that at the beginning too. Stray spaces are kind of invisible. You want to know if you see them. Like, you might not notice right away. Okay? And okay. Do you remember where they were? No, neither do I. But when you go like this, you can see them right away. Whoa, there's one. There's another, right? There's another. There's another. And there's another. So I can go cleaning them up, right? I can say, get that first. I just start on one side. And I say, now where do I have them? Here, north, and then North Atlanta. So I just click outside of here, back it up. Then North Atlanta, click way over here, back it up. Okay. And then what? Aha. There. And here. Okay. There you go. Now, there you go. Okay. Whap. Now, I can make that a var. And I'm going to use it somewhere. So I'm just going to create me a new var. I don't care what the number is. I just want to make it 1 in this case. Okay. And I've got a var that represents that area for that plumber. Okay. Now all I need are some plumbing terms, and I may as well know already that I'm going to make that var2. And I know that's going to be it. I needed cities and plumbing terms. All right. For those of you guys doing stuff online, you don't need cities unless, you want to target every city individually. Um, and some of you do. Some of you have a product that is drop shipped in every single city. For instance, there are guys out there selling, well, an example would be a water softener kit, and it goes in every single city. They're not a brick and mortar operation, but they deliver goods to your door, and people looking for it, very often when they look for something to buy, they look in their area, and Google will try to match them with their area too. Why? To lower the shipping costs. If I wanted to buy a mattress, I live in Seattle. I don't want somebody to ship me a mattress from Miami Beach, Florida. Heck no. I want a mattress from around here, unless there are no mattresses like that kind to be had around here, and then I'll get it from wherever I have to get it. You get it? But Google always knows your IP address. Whenever you do this, Google knows where you are. Google knows I'm in Seattle just because I opened Google. Okay, unless I'm using a proxy that hides me, and even then Google's got a pretty good idea where I am. So if I do a search for hotels or restaurants, Google's going to start showing me hotels and restaurants here in Seattle. If you do a search for hotels or restaurants or water softeners or anything, whenever you do any search, Google will try to show you local results first. So one of the ways to win any game, if you want to be an Empower Network and you want to get traffic there into your downline, find a way to create a page for Seattle people in Empower Network. Empower Network dash Seattle group, Seattle support group, Seattle support Empower Network. I don't know. Anything like that. That way you can go Seattle support, Tacoma support, Renton support, Redmond support, every city of every state, and you're going to eventually get 32,816 pages, all pitching Empower Network to each person in each city. Now, I mean, and what would your pitch be? It would be found one, create one, start one of the downline spinoffs in our powerful group for your city. Be the leader in your city for our group, and we'll give you support so you can go out in your city and do your thing. Okay, that would be kind of your pitch. It makes you look huge and hot and powerful and everything, and you can do it with anything, any MLM thing online. By the way, just so you know, it is easier to compete with each city across the nation than it is to try to compete with a national term, period. Because going for automated Forex software is really hard. But going for automated Forex software Seattle, Washington, that means you create it, but you don't think people are going to type that in here. They're not. They're going to type, guys in Seattle are going to type automated Forex software. But if Google can find a page that says Seattle, Washington on it, even in the footer, about automated Forex software, it has a stronger chance of coming up front and center here because I'm in Seattle, not because I typed Seattle. I didn't have to type Seattle restaurants. All I had to type was restaurants. Same thing. Believe it or not, it's the same thing. Google will look for local pages first. Okay, I made that point pretty clear. Let me come back to my plumber. I need plumbing keywords. I could do anything. Let's say I could get plumbing keywords, okay? CSV file. I mean, I can try to get anything I can grab. Did you see what I saw? I saw something. Let me just see if it shows up like this. I don't know if it will. Well, it could. Nope, that's getting too heavy on the CSV file side of it. Let's back up. Top plumbing keywords for SEO. Oh, they're giving me a list, right? Heck yeah, they're giving me a list. Will you look at that? I can take this whole list, right? And I've got lists. Now, I may not want every single keyword on there if I'm going for residential plumbers. I don't want commercial plumbers. But look, I can even take this and copy it, and I can create real fast a way to do this. Watch this. Let me just, okay, save, close. I'll come back to this in a moment. Okay, I'm going to create like a new worksheet real quick. I'm going to see, first of all, if I can just paste it in that way. Control V. And I can. So guess what? I can do it. All right, let me see if I can understand better what these categories are before I delete them. Because I was thinking I'd just delete them. Oh, maybe I would. There's water heater. Or maybe these are extra keywords and I want them. Okay, I mean, I can use them in a certain way. Okay, Control X. But look, my first column is already the keywords I want. That's kind of what I'm saying. Okay. Need to get rid of this, by the way. Aha, how'd that go? Oh, let me do this right. No. Why is it jumping? I don't know. Okay. Control X. Control V. All right. Yeah, good. I wanted the cells to unmerge. Clear contents and stuff. All right. Control X. Control V. Yep. Okay. And then I can like literally delete this stuff. Okay. Now, that may seem a little technical. What are some other ways to do this anyway? By the way, I don't care if it seems technical. I'm just showing you concepts, right? Delete. Okay, so now I need to make sure to get the spaces out. Here's a good way to do it. Just data sort A to Z. I'm just showing you ideas, right? Let me do that again. Z to A. Oh, wow. Okay, if it wants to keep oh, that's why. That's not really spaces. It just made the cell too big. Okay. It did delete all the spaces. They're all down here. Delete. Okay. Now, for these guys that are doubled up like that, I don't exactly like that concept, so I may just have to deal with that separately. There's ways to do that. I'm not going to get into all that. All I'm saying is that you can get keywords, okay? There are a lot of ways to get keywords. A common way to get keywords is this. This is probably one of the easiest. Let me just go to google.com, okay? And, oh, I went google.com/sk, search keyword tool, sk tool. What it's going to do is redirect and have me log into the keyword planner on AdWords. Okay, so fine, I'll sign in. If you don't have an account with Google, get one. Just go sign up and get one. It's free. It's easy. Now search for new keyword and ad group ideas. Okay, I might do something like this: residential plumber, and maybe I want to stay away from emergency plumber terms, right? Because just I want to go after all kinds of plumbers. I don't know if they're all emergency plumbers who work after hours. Okay. Now it's going to show me a lot of ad groups. I don't want that. I want keyword ideas. Okay. All right. I'm going to sort the list when I download it. It's giving me 800 and the original one. That's 801 keywords. I'm going to download that whole raw list like Excel CSV. Download. And when it gets it down, I'll have I can save it. There it goes. It's downloading it. There, it's done. It's right here. It's where my downloads go. I set it to go there. And I can call this like raw-keywords, okay? Now, that means I can use whatever keywords I want off of that list. Let me open it. It's got more stuff than I need. Remember this? Highlight, double-click any of these lines, and they all stretch out, okay? I'm going to get rid of everything that is not keywords. I do not care which are more competitive and less necessarily. You can. I don't care which gets more or less monthly searches necessarily. If I'm using these keywords in my MOWG runs, I don't really have to care. Exact match only. If you want, watch this. Again, data, go like A to Z or Z to A. See how it goes smallest to largest? So I'll go Z to A in this case. Highlight the column, hit Z to A. Yes, expand the selection. It's got to turn everything with it, not just rearrange this all by itself. Okay, there you go. Now I know my keywords are in the best order, okay, for largest searches anyway. It's also going to mean probably more competition there, but that's okay. We'll just deal with it. Delete. What do I have now? I got rid of everything that wasn't actually a keyword, and I've got more keywords than I could possibly need. So let's say I was being picky. Okay, and I got myself 100 keywords. It's the weirdness of saying picky, right? Remember, there's nothing in here. It looks like something's in here, but you don't see anything appear in here when I click one of these, and that's because it's really reading from the side over here. It's overlapping. If I do this and double click, there. Now we can see better what's going on, right? I could even just pull it out further. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to come back to my raw keywords and just get a few. Let's say I got the top, I don't care if it's 100, okay? I'll show you what we're going to do next. And really what I want to do is make 2 columns. There are reasons for that, but I want to create different kinds of variability. So I don't just want a var2 really. Whoops, I got to get back. Oh, here. I don't really want all of them in here, but that's okay. I can start that way. Let's say I got them cleaned up, put them in, and said these are the ones I want. I don't want rooter, or rotor in there. necessarily. I mean, you can. It's okay to have another company name as a keyword. I've seen one instance in the past 10 and a half years online with all the work I do, where a company contacted me and asked me to remove a page that had a keyword in it that was their keyword that was, being used to make it show up on Google for their keyword. I wasn't doing it intentionally, and I wasn't doing it to compete with them, and it was pretty clear when you saw the page I wasn't competing with them. But I had one such issue in 10 and a half years. Now, I'm not going to say go put all your competitors in. You're going to make it sound like you're selling their stuff, okay? But you should take out competitor names, and you should take out, competitive brands and things like that, and just stick with standard things. And don't use words that have geo-targets in them, like Denver plumbing, because you're already using geo-targets like, Atlanta, Georgia. So don't allow keywords in there that have, city names in them, right? So come back and drop, right? Okay. I'm just being cheap with this San Jose, right? Drop. Okay. Having said that, let's say that's my clean list now. What do I want to do with it? I really want to split it in two, like I said. So let me create one more var 3, okay, because it's not in use. And I want to cut this in half. I've got, okay, 96 really. Half of that is basically 50. So I just kind of chop it back to about 50. It doesn't have to be exact. Cut, come up here and paste, Control V. Okay? And I can save that. Now, why did I do that? That's so I've got keyword combinations, where I use keywords so it's not always the same word on the page, but it keeps talking about the same concept. And that's cool. It's cool for my purposes, and especially in the way that I'm going to use it. I'm going to use this in a very simple way. I'll let you do keyword density however you want now that you see what I'm doing, where I use like the image alt tag, and I created that I use the keyword in there, and you can stick these anywhere you want on the page. So you can put them in the page title, put them in the meta description, put them in the H1 tag, H2 tag, H3 tag, any of those, all of them, some of them. It can be a one H1 tag and not in a different H1 tag. See, just wherever you want to use it, okay? And stick it in the first paragraph. Stick it in the last paragraph, okay? That way you got your keyword density in place, and you got, like your alt code on an image, okay? If you know how to do link title text, you can do title text for links. That's like alt code for links. And you can do that, okay? I'm not going to keep talking about forever. I'm going to leave you to learn how to do those things if you don't already know how. Everyone's at a different level of the game as far as that goes. But the work that we're doing here is enough to do a whole lot, okay? Okay, and again, I haven't cleaned these up. These need some kind of clean. You could always send a keyword list to a guy and say, hey, take out everything that doesn't apply to you and let him send it back. If you really want it, you should include that in your price if you're doing that. But you don't need to, or include in your price if you're doing it. That's really what I should say there, right? Somebody has to do it. Either that or it's just a generic run and no one's really going to care what goes in there, okay? Still, it's good if somebody does it. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, Chicago plumber. How are you going to find... Looking for a Chicago plumber in North Atlanta, Georgia? No, I'm not. I'm not looking for a Chicago plumber. I could just take the word Chicago out and leave plumber in. See that? No stray spaces. Not when you hit home or end. Okay? And always when you click in a box, hit end. Well, you got to double click to get the cursor moving. Hit home, hit end, right? All right, now I've got this going on. Now, there's one more piece to it that I'm going to do on the var side, and that's going to be called a menu generator. I'll explain it soon, but I'm just going to show you how this works, okay? And this is what you want to know to do. This is the last thing we're doing on the var side. And then obviously I want to move these vars over to the project file, or a better way is just to start the project file over, okay? So what am I going to do? I'm going to create a menu generator. I'm going to hit menu generator to create a menu column and the associated menu items. And you'll see what we're doing in the next video because I'll explain the other half of this in the next video. I just want to catch this side up and then we'll go continue from there. So if I hit menu generator, Well, I want it to come from var2, say, or var3, one of those. And how many results do I want? Just put 2. Put the number 2. Okay, we got reason for doing it that way. So just hit number 2. Okay, var2, number 2. How's that? And it won't always be var2. It's just whatever vars you could use for your keywords. Do make this a keyword column in your menu. Okay, submit, done. Okay, and now at the very end of the file, it created 1, 2, 3 new columns. Let me just breeze through what's happening there. Okay. All right. It created something called root. Okay. Don't worry about it. Just know it's in there. It has to be in there. Then it took your keywords and it put your keywords here from var2. This is exactly from var2, except it changed something. Everywhere there used to be a space got changed to a dash. This is for URLs. Okay. You can't have spaces in URLs. This is so your URL breakdown makes a lot more sense, and it's based on your keywords first. The menu comes first in your URL breakdown. You'll see. But that's so that you get this effect in the URLs. It's very cool to have. Now, because we're creating pages into these new folders here, that's how it works for the URLs. We have to actually create the pages. Then we need to actually have those clickable links on the website also. And so it got broken into half and half still, because we said two results. So it took all of these and it split it in half. And it goes this way: plumbing supply, then plumber, then plumbers, then plumbing. It just goes back and forth, here, then here, then here, then here, then here, then here, evenly splitting across these two until it gets to the bottom. Okay, happen to have one more here. Doesn't matter. Okay, doesn't matter how this comes out. You don't even have to go and look at this. All you need to know is that it creates these when you hit menu generator. If I didn't like it, if I wanted to go for var3, I could do it all over again. When I hit this, it deletes what was there. I can hit var3, 2, stick with 2, submit. Okay, we could do 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. You know, I could do like var3, you know, and I could do something like 10. Okay, submit. But for the and it'll break them all out. Okay, but for the purposes of our project and what I'm going to show you, just an easy way to deal with it, just make it var, whatever var, and then 2. Okay, you'll see what we're doing soon, and it's good. We're not going for spam, we're going for sensible. Okay, now I got my var sheet right. I'm done with my raw keywords. Normally I'd probably cut them off my raw keywords list, or I'd keep it in a backup or an archive or a list called done, because I used them. I'm using them, right, for however many pages I want to create. So I want to know which ones I used, right? I don't know anymore because I didn't do anything with it. It would be good to create a separate file called done or something, you know, copy, paste, rename, used keywords, okay? And then from there, well, it's the top 100, isn't it now? You know, or whatever it was, right? Who knows? Yeah, and so these are not used yet, so I'll just delete them back off. Shift cells left or up isn't going to matter in this case at all. It could go either way. Okay, they're the ones that are used, so I'm not going to use them again. Okay. You can do it the other way around too, unused keywords, and it can be what's left. And then the next time you chop some off the top to use them, then have an unused keywords too, which is what's left, right? So it's literally up to you how you do it, you know, just up to whatever you want to do. Okay, I'm going to kill those. I'm going to assume that those are all the keywords I'm ever going to do for that project and leave any other keywords to the guy. I want to get back to what you're used to seeing. I want to get rid of this because we were done with that a long time ago once we proved out the file. And I'm going to get rid of this because we made so many changes by now. I want to make sure it gets reproduced properly by MOWG all by itself. So now I want to test my results. And there's one more thing you'll learn this way, and that's how to handle the menu in the URL breakdown. Okay, I got that and that done. Yes, you need to do the menu all the time, which isn't hard, right? I mean, it was obviously easy. Once you understood what you were doing, it's easy. Okay, aha. They're not present in the HTML file. I need to add menu project var 1, 2, 3 and that and that. Okay, I see. Reality check is I haven't got my HTML file caught up yet, so I cannot continue. I can't just act like I can. So what I'm going to do right now is break off of this video because it's been going on for a while, and then we're going to come in and we're going to add the next piece, which is going to be a piece you're going to keep because you're going to always add this next piece. Okay, and you'll like it. It'll just make your life so much easier and make your run so much stronger, and you'll be able to do it from memory. It's so simple. All right, so here we go. I'll continue on in the next topic. Take a break and then come back, and ooh, we're getting close. We just have two more things to do really. One is to finish off the page to make it work. The other is to show you how to use the FTP information to upload the stuff. And you don't even really need to. You could just use a zip file to do it. So you're really close. Okay. It's been worth it. And it will be worth it. You getting this down will really be worth it for you. All right. Congratulations on getting this far. We're getting close.